Tonight, an I-team investigation into those drive-thru COVID testing sites you may have seen around here in the Coastal Bend. Chief Investigator Matt Stevens joins us now after following a trail that led to answers for a concerned viewer. Matt.
Katya, Myra Maureen called us because she and her husband hadn't received their test results weeks after they were promised at a drive-thru site. And she was concerned about possible identity theft since they'd given up personal information.
They got your insurance information and what else?
They also got all of our social security numbers, our date of births, our address, phone numbers, and emails.
On January 7th, we visited the same site Myra and her husband had gone through on December 11th. I was given a test tube and told to spit into it until it reached the first line. I handed over my driver's license and gave my email address. I was then sent a link to a registration form, but I drove away when it asked for a social security number and wouldn't submit without it. Nueces County Public Health Director Annette Rodriguez says the county offers free COVID testing 6 days a week and asks for name, address, and birth date only.
You wouldn't give them the social security number?
I would not, no, I would not. So you shouldn't have to. When we test, we don't ask anybody's social security number.
At another drive-thru site, test administrator Katie Wilson was happy to do an interview. She said her employer was the Grinder Group, a Houston area-based company. Owner Mickey Weaver told us by text, "I respect you looking into the concerns of the community. Feel free to share our locations." We asked Wilson about the process.
My boss man comes each night. He has an overnight shipping box that gets sent to our test, and from there the lab takes care of the testing. And then about 3 to 5 days, a person will receive an email, and if they happen to receive a phone call, that means they might be positive. If they don't receive any type of phone call, that means they are good.
Myra Maureen called us because she hadn't heard from anyone in any form for more than 2 weeks. Her husband was already back to work, but only because the quarantine period was up.
Now my concern is what they're going to do with the information that we've given them.
We told her we'd find out. We started with an email Myra received from DJR Wellness. We tried calling the number listed, but no one answered. So we headed to an address we found on the internet, 1937 Texas Parkway in the Houston suburb of Missouri City. Here's what we found at that address: a vacant office that looks similar to another clinic next door.
There was some type of mental adult daycare type of service.
We went to the lab listed on the email next, Immunogenomics in nearby Sugar Land. The lab's owner told us they work with DJR Wellness and the Grinder Group, and they helped us find DJR's new location, a rented church activities building a few miles away.
Okay.
DJR's founder, Robin Booker, gave us a tour of the facility.
We're a multi-specialty environment, and we pretty much deal with people that are critically ill or have mental illness. They can't take care of themselves. They can't get to a doctor's office. So we do breakfast, lunch, and dinner for them here.
What does that have to do with drive-thru COVID testing? Booker said it was just a way to help people and that DJR took no money for it. This is Twinkle Patel. She and her husband own the lab, Immunogenomics. They say they're getting a government reimbursement for each test, but would not say if they're making a profit. And social security numbers are never required for reimbursement. They can sometimes, however, speed up the payments, according to Scott Kodish with the Health Resources and Services Administration. We told Booker and Patel about Myra Maureen's complaint. Patel did not want to be interviewed, but insisted it must have been a glitch. While we were there, she opened her laptop, found Maureen's results, and emailed them.
A few notes now. Twinkle Patel says her lab handles at least 1,000 COVID tests a day and could handle up to 12,000. DJR Wellness does have a Houston doctor connected to its operation as required by the state, and all of the Grinder Group's test site workers are certified. As for any concerns about identity theft, Patel says her site is quite secure and they've had no reports of any issues. Katya.
Interesting. Matt Stevens reporting. Thank you for that.